Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chandra Ballava Givaredari Gopi Chandra Ballava Givaredari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Givaredari Gopi Jana Ballava Givaredari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayom Vishupad Pradamahansa Padadikacharya Asatoda Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayom Vishupad Pradamahansa Padadikacharya Asatoda Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Anantikoti Vaishnavindi Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridasa Thakur Ki. Sad Goswami Zavindavan Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki. Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath. Shamakun Radhakun Giruvaran Ki. Garantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Samaveda Bhaktivedanta Ki. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the Summa devotees. All glories to the Summa devotees. All glories to the Summa devotees. Glory Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Put it back. That's okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'm going to cut some of their prayers back because I'm not feeling well. I might have to get up. So let's see how it goes with the class. He made me give class anyway, so it's his fault. So we are reading from the 10th canto, chapter 75, verses 34, 35, 36. And this is Duryodhana humiliated. So I'm just going to read the Sanskrit to this one, and then we'll chant verse 36. It's a little shorter. Okay? Somebody's controlling this, right? Okay, gotcha. All right. Satyamaya kalpatyam kapi dharma sutadrita uto nugra bandhubascha. Is it one before that? Okay. Krishna nepa sachakusa asina kanchane sakshat asana magavaneva parameshna shriya justa suyamanas javandibi. Translation. It so happened that Emperor Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, was sitting just like Indra on a golden throne in the assembly hall built by Mayadanava. Present with him were his attendants and family members. Also Lord Krishna, his special eye, displaying the opulence of Brahma himself. King Yudhishthira was being praised by the court poets. Purport. Srila Siddhar Swami explains that Lord Krishna is described here as Yudhishthira's special eye, since he advised the king on what was beneficial and what was not. Okay, text 36. Error. Okay, you can repeat after me. Tata Duryodhana mani Parito Bhartibir Nipa Kirita Mayina Nya Visad Asihasta Shipan Rusa Tata Duryodhana mani Parito Bhartibir Nipa Kirita Mayina Visad Asihasta Shipan Rusa Tata Duryodhana mani Parito Bhartibir Nipa Kirtita Mayina Visad Ashihasta Shipan Rusa. Maharajas? Maharajas? Wait for the Maharajas. Parito Maritir Nipa Kirita Maya Visad Ashihasta Shipan Rusa Tata Duryodhana Mani Karito Biritir Nipa Ita Mayina Visad Ashihasta Shipan Rusa Tata Duryodhana Mani Barito Nipa Mayina Visad Vaishnavis. Any ladies want to join? One lady? Come on, don't be shy. Tata Duryodhana Mani Parito Birati Nipa Kirita Maya Visad Anyone else? Okay. Tatra, there. Duryodhana, Mani, proud. Parita, surrounded. Bhartibi, by his brothers. Nirpa, O king. Kirita, wearing a crown. Mali, and a necklace. Yavishat, entered. Asi, a sword. Hasta, in his hand. Shipan, insulting the doorkeepers. Rusha, angrily. Translation. Proud Duryodhana, holding a sword in his hand, and wearing a crown and necklace, angrily went into the palace in the company of his brothers. O king, insulting the doorkeepers as he entered. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes that Duryodhana was always in an envious and angry mood. And therefore, on a slight provocation, he spoke sharply with the doorkeepers and became angry. Om Jnana Timirandjasa Gananjanan Shalakaya Chakshumi Tamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchaka Potru Vyasha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavamyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasri Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. So back to verse 34 and 35. It says, it so happened that Emperor Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, was sitting just like Indra on a golden throne in the assembly hall built by Maya Danava. So this is the scene that's occurring here. You know, when you think of devotees, especially ourselves, because actually we're sadhana bhaktis. You avoid any opulence, any special treatment, right? Trinadapi Sunichina, you want to keep yourself. But here he is. He's sitting on a golden throne like Indra in this beautiful assembly hall built by Maya Danava. And it says, present with him were his attendants, family members, and also Lord Krishna. You're on the throne and Krishna's down there praising you. Who can do like that, you know? That's when you're in reaches the higher stages of devotional service, and you're in Krishna praying. In our sadhana stage, we have to be more formal and keep a low position, humble. To display the opulence of Brahma himself, King Yudhishthira was being praised by the court poets. And he's receiving praise in front of Lord Krishna. So these are the pastimes that occur in the spiritual realm. And this Maya Danava, this is very interesting. Because actually Krishna, he wanted Yudhishthira to be glorified like this. He wanted this. Sometimes devotees would get this mood of, I don't want anything. Well, how Krishna's going to reciprocate with you if you don't want anything? You can have wants. But for the sake of service, we don't go chase those wants. Those are something on the side. But he wants to reciprocate with you. So we're not Mayavadis. I just want bliss. No, we have desires. We're all individuals. So Krishna wanted to put Yudhishthira in this position. As we know, he just performed the Rajasuya sacrifice, which in itself is something that's extraordinary. That Rajasuya sacrifice is only been performed by about 8 kings in 1 millennium. What's a millennium? That's Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. Of course, in Kali Yuga, nobody can do that, right? We can't even light the fire with mantra. How are we going to do Rajasuya? I don't think anyone can chant mantras and light the fire yet, right? No, I don't think so. Okay. So what to speak of Rajasuya sacrifice? Yeah. So he's one of 8 that in 4,320,000 years, what is that? That is 43 lakhs, right? 43 lakhs years. Only 8 people performed this Rajasuya sacrifice. And that Rajasuya sacrifice itself, it's only performed on the earth planet for the kings to show their dominance. They actually, if you complete it, you get the title Chakravartin. You are the universal emperor. Everyone must offer respects and bow to you. To perform it, first of all, you need large sums of gold and money. So as we know, Krishna sent out his brothers, everyone to collect. And they even collected from the people outside the Vedic civilization. Kirata, Hunya, Palindi, Ashraya. Went to all these places, Chinese, Greeks. My brother's performing Rajasuya sacrifice. Give us some gold. By giving that gold, that means I accept that King Yudhishthira will be this universal emperor. But if not, okay, let us fight. Come on. Oh, no, please take. So after accumulating all the wealth and gathering everyone there, he performed this jaga. And he performed it in this place which is called, built by Maya Danava. Who is this Maya Danava? He is the architect for the demons. The architect for the demigods is, thank you, I get brain luck sometime. Architect for Krishna Balaram is Surabi. 50th anniversary of Krishna Balaram Mandir Ki. We have our architects also, It's a nice story too. I won't tell all of it because I think devotees, when we have the pastimes, they have to describe all those activities. He came to India. He only met devotees 2 weeks before. Someone he's brought to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada discovered he's an architect. Good, we have so much work to do. I'm giving you Brahmin initiation. What? What is that? Doesn't matter. You see? His work has to be done. He had to give him Brahmin because, especially at that time, even when he did the jaga here, he brought priests in from South India, right? Because, and local. But otherwise, if we did it, nobody, that's not bona fide temple. These foreigners, they're doing their thing here. What is this, So at least they could say he's Brahmin. So it was functional. It wasn't just, And extraordinary, challenging time to do all of this. We'll hear later all these extraordinary events, to bring this. So this Maya Danava, how did he come to build this extraordinary hall? So if you go back a few past times where Agni Dev, fire god, He was sick, like I'm sick right now, stomach problem. So he needed all these herbs. Where were they? In the Kandava forest. So Krishna said, no problem. We'll burn it for you, because that's how he eats. And they set the whole thing on fire. Of course, this forest was dear to Indra. And he became angry. What? How dare you burn my forest? I will attack you. So, Arjuna and Krishna had to battle Indra, win that battle. But meanwhile, not only were the plants and herbs burned, but also all the living entities in that forest, they also were burnt up. And as Mayadana was there too, and he prayed, oh, please protect me, don't burn me up. And Krishna realized, oh, he's useful. Okay, we'll let him live. So later on, as show his appreciation, he built this great hall for Yudhishthira. And it's described how he actually used his supernatural precision and endured it with illusions and mystical elements. It had crystal clear floors. As we read, you'll see later to describe more. You couldn't tell what is water, what is marble, what is not. You had to be attentive. It had columns with gold and gems and majestic halls that were there. And in this hall is where they performed the Rajasuya sacrifice. Having that hall increased the opulence of the Pandavas. Nobody had anything like that. You see? So it made them even more glorious. It's such a wonderful place. Even the demigods were coming. Imagine that. So they performed the Rajasuya sacrifice there. And, of course, Duryodhana, not being Krishna conscious. When you're not Krishna conscious, then what kind of conscious are you? I, me, mine, I. We come to this material world, why? Because I want to be great. I want everyone to respect me. Technically, it's not our fault. We're Jivatma. So Jivatma, they can be servant or they can become illusion. No, I'm also like Krishna. You see? That's our only two choices. You either become servant of Krishna or you try to become the enjoyer of Krishna. So, okay, Krishna makes arrangements, material energy is there, gives you the false ego. Yes, you are the enjoyer, you can do it. Yes, you're so powerful, so wonderful. Nobody is better than you. You just need to get a few more things so everyone can see your opulence. So Duryodhana, of course, as we read in the next verse, how the Rajasuya sacrifice had been completed a few days before. Everyone has already left. Yet they're still glorifying Yudhishthira, which is an extraordinary event if you think about it, Somebody does something phenomenal. What is the harm in recognizing that? That should be the natural response. But for one who is envious, they have the different reaction. So, as a matter of fact, in the Bhagavad Gita, it describes that in the 2nd chapter. Right? It describes how the progression of the material energy whipping you. But you don't know you're going to be whipped. And how does it begin? One is contemplating the objects of the senses. Right? Oh, it's so wonderful. It's so nice. Oh, wow. Just imagine. If I was king of the world, this is Duryodhana. And I can be because he's very powerful. Right? Lord Balaram taught him how to fight with a club. Nobody can defeat him. Get a little proud. But there's that Yudhishthira. The one person keeping him from his glory. So he has to think how to overcome Yudhishthira. So you get that attachment. And that attachment, it says, according to the lust. But I say it's not so much lust. Desire increases. It becomes like a fire. The more you think about it, Maya is helping you. Yes, you can do it. You can have it. She doesn't show you the backside. See, those with knowledge realize this enjoyment coin, there's a coin, it has two sides. One side is the beautiful allurement, so wonderful. And until you grab it, you don't see the backside. You have to pay a price. You have to pay. There's nothing free. You don't get enjoyment for free. Yeah. So, intelligent person, he doesn't go down that path. Or we should say the envious person. That the root cause is this envy that makes us go that way. So for those who are not envious, they can take to the devotional service of the Lord. And then there's no bewilderment at all. And it says when that bewilderment is there because of the arise of desire, that anger comes. Why? Because it's not happening. I'm not getting what I want, so anger appears, which is another pitfall. This story of Duryodhana shows that better in the beginning, don't use anger unless you know how to use it. So, Srila Prabhupada, he get angry, yeah? But it was different. Because you think Vaishnava was supposed to be like this all the time, right? So until you become pure devotee, better not to use anger. Just suppress it. Like we see Haridas Thakur, he's being beaten in the marketplace. Did he become angry? Because he's Krishna conscious. He sees Krishna is beating me for some reason. I accept. That's not what we should see. Someone other Krishna is putting me in this situation. I don't know why, but I accept. Like later on we'll see because of Duryodhana, from this anger, his memory gets bewildered, and therefore the intelligence, you can't you're angry. And you're going to make a huge mistake. So he walks in angry and he's proud, right? He's got his crown as described. He put his jewels on, bring his entourage. He got his sword too. I'm going to show that Yudhishthira. I don't care if he did Rajasriya Sakram. I don't care if he has his hall. I'm going to show him. And he sees the doorkeeper, so immediately when you're angry, what do? You insult everybody. And you shouldn't insult everybody. You incur sinful reaction for insulting those doorkeepers. What did they do? Everyone should be honored. And he walks into the assembly and sees Yudhishthira up there, and everyone's glorifying him. And because he's bewildered, bop, into the water. You can imagine. Now he's even more embarrassed, isn't it? Imagine that. And what makes it more embarrassing? All the ladies start giggling and laughing. Nobody likes ladies to laugh at them. Oh, and then more insult. He comes out dripping wet, and everybody, Yudhishthira is trying to calm them. No, please don't. But Krishna's encouraging him. Yeah, give him some more. Give him some more. And he walks out insulted. Because later on, there must be the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It must be this battle. Krishna wants to be in Vrindavan. Right? You go back many pastimes when he left. Akur came to get him because Kamsa was calling him. And he agreed because he thought, I'll finish this Kamsa and then we can go back to Vrindavan. Even the internal energy bewilders you too. If Krishna's bewildered. So he comes and he kills Kamsa. And then he meets with the Yadu dynasty in Mathura. And he tells them, actually, I'm a cowherd boy. So I want to go back to Vrindavan. So King Ugrasena, we're going to put him in charge. You all work together. And we're going back to Vrindavan. And one of the elder members of Yadu dynasty steps forward and he goes, you cannot leave. You cannot leave. Now that Kamsa is gone, there's so many other demonic kings who are going to attack us. Jarasandha has millions of soldiers. Who's going to protect us? You can't leave. Krishna, think about that. So Balaram, you stay. I'm going back. Balaram's like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I only where you are, that's where I'm going. I'm not staying either. So then they tried to make calculations of what to do. So then they thought, well, let's just bring all the residents from Vrindavan to Mathura. Why not? But that doesn't work either. Because the Nanda Maharaj, he has millions of cows. What are the cows going to eat in Mathura? There's nothing for them to eat. They have to be out in the forest. And then that elderly Yadu, he also said to him, so actually you should remember Nanda and Yashoda, actually they're not your father and mother. Vasudeva and Devaki are your real father. You have to stay and protect them. They're also your devotees. So then he makes arrangements he explains to Nanda Maharaj the whole situation. And he says, if I go back to Vrindavan, then those millions of soldiers, they will attack Vrindavan. Before, Kamsa was just sending one demon at a time, right? It's easy. One a day. Pop, 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 finish. Now I got to fight millions at a time, It's just... So better I stay here where there's protection and I fight them here. And Nanda Maharaj is telling him about what's going to happen to us. Everyone is missing you. They're dying without you. Your mother is there now in Vrindavan lamenting so much. And he tells him you tell her every day to cook for me. He gives him a list of things she can cook daily for him. And I will come and eat them. Don't worry. You see? And tell her you must not show any lamentation. Otherwise, these demoniac kings may attack Vrindavan. He said, what about the cows? They're missing you also? He said, you take one cowherd boy and you put him in my clothing. And give them one flute to play. Because cows, they don't really use their eyes much. They use their nose and their ears. So they'll smell me and they'll hear the flute. And they'll feel like I'm still there. So in this way they tried to pacify everyone. But of course their rasa is to experience separation from Krishna. Which is actually the highest pleasure. And the material aspect, it looks like it's the greatest suffering. They're practically near death. Even as described, they want to drown themselves in Jamuna River. But Jamuna River is also lamenting. So the water is only this deep. How can you drown yourself? So Krishna was 10 years and a few months old when he left Vrindavan. He said, no, I'll finish these people and come back. 110 years later. It took that long. So finally we see here where he arranges that. Let's just have one big battle and finish all these people. So this is the beginning of that. And in this same assembly hall later on, Duryodhana will come and cheat in dice. And the Pandavas get exiled. Still, they're not lamenting. They understand. Someone knows this Krishna's arrangement. So this is the lessons as devotees we have to learn. We have to have if you want to at least be peaceful, not to speak of experiencing the bliss of Krishna consciousness, you need to have a good purpose. Right? So in our devotional lives, we should have something I'm trying to accomplish. It doesn't have to be extraordinary like this, building Krishna Balaram Mandir. Extraordinary event, so many extraordinary things have to take place. I often think about Guru Kripa when he was discussing about the day Prabhupada, after he decided he wanted to build this temple. Well, ISKCON doesn't have that much money. He needs $100,000 a month. That's $1 lakh per month. Nowadays, that's like $5 lakhs. And he has all the big leaders, sannyasis there. I need this money per month. Who's going to get it for me? The Guru Kripa raised his hand. He said, why did you do that? Prabhupada wanted it done. I'm going to try to do it. He had that faith, and he figured if Prabhupada wants it done, it's going to be done. And I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. And he did it. I mean, it's a little bit nefarious, but he did it, right?
We'll talk about that later.
In those days, it had to be, we didn't realize Prabhupada had such a short period of time. Right? He only had a short period of time. We're thinking Prabhupada's going to be here until the world becomes Krishna conscious. At least I felt like that. Very naive, 18, 20-year-old boy. Yeah, Prabhupada's going to be here forever, and the whole world will be Krishna conscious, and there'll be Vaikuntha, right? Haribo, Haribo. No, we're not realistic. Prabhupada knew. He only had a short period of time. Because he had a heart attack earlier in 67. Practically speaking, he would have died then. You look at those instructions he's telling to the devotees. You have to become guru and continue this movement. They didn't even have Bhagavad Gita. And he's telling them you have to become guru and continue the movement. They didn't have anything. There's no songbooks. There's no temples, really. No deity worship established. But you have to be... So, I don't know, maybe, who knows if Krishna was going to take him then, but he gave him some more time. So Prabhupada didn't waste any moment after that. He was like, And then he had to print his books. He didn't want just some simple printing. No, he wanted the most beautiful books ever. Perfect. Which is very expensive. So where do you get the money? So we had to learn how to sell books. Right? They used to go out in their doties. Hi, sir, could you take one? Maybe you do 2 in 10 hours. Right? In the early days, in your doti, you could maybe do 2 big books. Maybe, that's huge. Because, nobody cared for us in those days. Now you can go like this. There's one devotee, Mahatsava, he goes in his doti, he does, $2,000 in books a day in his doti. Back then, no. So gradually devotees started, okay, we're going to have to make some changes, and before you know it, we're more or less mafia salesmen. Huh? Take a book, give a donation. Everybody's giving. What's it about? You can read about it later. Come on, hurry up. At least that's how I sold them. What's the point in talking to them? They didn't want to hear it, This is Krishna. Man, get out of here. I don't even about no freaking Krishna, So I just no, you're taking this book. But my motivation wasn't so much that pure. It's a little materially motivated. At least in Chicago, we knew that Prabhupada was visiting all these temples, and he couldn't visit all of them. So generally, he went to the ones that sold the most books. So if you want Prabhupada to come to your temple, you had to sell more books in Detroit and everybody else, or he's not coming to Chicago. Right? So you're taking a book. I don't care. I'm going to see Prabhupada. Because you couldn't go to Detroit. No, you had to stay in Chicago. Keep doing your service. Just follow Prabhupada everywhere. He didn't like that. He had work to be done. We're trying to spread this movement. You're not supposed to enjoy Prabhupada. Hridananda Maharaj told me this story. He said he took sannyas back early, when the first sannyas season. So he's just following Prabhupada everywhere. One temple, second temple, third temple. Prabhupada sees him. He calls him up. Why is it everywhere I go, I see you? Your business is not to enjoy the spiritual master. Go preach. Kick them out, Only Shruti Kirti got to enjoy Prabhupada. I'm so jealous of them servants. I want to be Prabhupada's servant. I want to be Prabhupada. Even though I'm so unqualified, but still, I was like, yeah, I know I can get it. I just have to work my way up where Prabhupada notices me somehow or another. I'm going to bump Shruti Kirti out of this position. After reading this book, I wouldn't last 1 hour. I didn't have the mentality and intelligence to serve Prabhupada at that level. You really have to be a certain temperament and intelligence. Oh, forget it. Even at that time, he always wanted one GBC to be secretary for 1 month. And if you notice, generally you see the same devotees in the pictures. Nobody wanted to be secretary. It was too heavy, huh? Only Brahmananda, Tamal, they could do it, because Prabhupada was pushing this movement. So in this way, we're printing. I can't remember. I think they were printing maybe 20,000 books at a time. So finally, Prabhupada was able to get his books printed, get some temples established. So, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't have did all that. Krishna would have kept him a little longer, huh? I think everything got kind of completed, so, okay, come on back to Godhead. Let them finish. Which is necessary. You know, you can't just run behind Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. If you want to be Krishna conscious, you have to do the work. It would be nice if it was so easy, you know. The spiritual master just touch your head, boom, Krishna praying. It doesn't work like that. He's enthusing us to do service, but you have to do it. It's kind of like riding a bicycle. In the beginning, you know, maybe the father's holding it, right? He can't hold it forever. Every time you want to ride, he's going to hold the bicycle? No, he has to let go. And then you fall. Okay, get up, try again. Get up. After a while, you learn how to do it. You can even ride with no hands, right? Ride backwards, one wheel, you get so expert. So, spiritual master has to go, so you learn how to do devotional service, and you have to go through all the tribulations, all the headaches. But I want to become Krishna conscious, which means I want to please Prabhupada. That's what Krishna conscious means. It doesn't mean I'm happy. You know, that's how I measure my Krishna conscious. How do I feel? No. Is Prabhupada happy? Is Krishna happy? That's Krishna consciousness. It doesn't matter if I'm happy. Like Haridas, he's getting beaten. He didn't care. We have a mission we're trying to complete, right? Prithivichyati yati nagaradi gram. Lord Chaitanya said, everywhere this is going to be spread. Who did that? Prabhupada ki. Yeah. So we have to continue that. That's our mission, to continue it. Of course, he said, Habi Morinam, which means it's already done. So Prabhupada used to say to us, you do it and get the credit. Otherwise, someone else is going to do it. Better you do it. Right? Better we do it. So let us do it for the glory of Prabhupada, you know, in this way. And in our own devotional practice in the beginning, better don't use, if anger is there, just push it aside, even if you don't understand and you feel justified, well, I was wrong. No, put it aside. So that Trinadapi, Sunichinata, Rodapi, Sahishuna, very important. You know, then once you get to the bhava and praying, okay, then you can use anger. Better not to use it, because something bad is always going to come out of it. At least that's my experience. Nothing good ever came out of it. And then usually the damage is such, maybe you can't fix it. Destroy relationships. So if you just accept and tolerate, actually Krishna becomes pleased too. He becomes pleased. So I'm feeling a little, I might have to stop. Any comments, please? Microphone.
Most people envision heaven, and the king of heaven is this very saintly personality. But you find Indra is getting angry at Krishna, angry at the Brijapasis, angry at Prithu Maharaj, and doing all kinds of nefarious activities. Mm-hmm. And the devotee is supposed to develop his 26 godly qualities and aspire, here's the king of heaven. Not to give Indra a hard time, but what do we got to look forward to then, as ordinary personalities? I mean, if he's getting angry, he's causing so much battles with Krishna, and how do we just understand that?
Well, of course, two ways to look at that. On the Uttamadhikari platform, that's all Leela for Krishna's pleasure. Because he didn't come down to this planet just to, walk around and, hi, how are you? He wants to fight. Right? He wants to make his Satyabhama happy. Like Rukmini, she got the Parijata flower, which only who gets that? So she becomes jealous. So when he come with me, come on, we'll take care of this demon for Indra, and then I'll take you up to Indra's planet. You'll get a flower also. But she didn't say anything till she got there. No, I want the whole tree. As wife, especially you have two wives. Okay, take it, come on. And Indra's offended. This is a man, he just killed the demon for him, right? And he's still like, no, you can't have that. That's mine. I'm the only one that has that. So these are lessons for us. It shows you how powerful that false ego is. Very powerful. So it's not impossible. We just have to be patient and keep going along with our sadhana. As you see so many of the Prabhupada disciples still going after all these years, right? All kind of good reasons. Imagine how long he's been temple president here. It's amazing. It's like Who survives Vrindavan that long? I can maybe stay 3 weeks. I have to go. But to speak of managing everything. So, yeah, anyways, you want to capture Krishna with prema. What is greater than that? It's easier to become a billionaire. It's easier to become president of the United States if you want, than to try to get Krishna prema. You see? So, don't... But at least we're in the boat, Isn't it fun? Plus, you go and meet so many variety of devotees. You can go anywhere in the world. Nobody has anything like this. Who cares if Krishna's God, right? This is so nice. So let us enjoy it. And I think also Krishna, he doesn't give us Krishna praying because you'll stop preaching. You'll just sit around rolling in Vrindavan. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So we got work to be done here. Only Prabhupada, he could stop that, right? He's still translating when he's dying. Yes, Prabhu.
Sometimes there's a misunderstanding that there's not so much preaching going on in the United States. How about your temple?
Yeah, it's going on. I mean, not the way we were doing it in the 70s, but of course we have Bhaktivedanta Swami has his center. There's another devotee who has a place up north. And David Reachmars, as a disciple, has a small preaching center restaurant in Stone Mountain, Georgia. That's what kind of place. It's like how it sounds. Used to be the home of the Ku Klux Klan. I'm like, why are you going there to do a preaching center in Stone Mountain, Georgia? Anyway, he's having success. And it's going on.
What about Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta's going on. We do some books, mostly maintaining the deities, which is a struggle, After Prabhupada left the phases the movement went through, at least we got the deity worship steady.
I went to your temple, it was packed.
I remember that. There was a Sunday feast. You must have called it a festival. But it's going on. It's going to go on. There's no doubt. You know what I mean? It's just fixed. I'm amazed how, like during the pandemic in Atlanta, actually I remember Prabhu, he emailed me, hey, but we need someone to get no money to us because nobody's coming to Krishna Bharam. Everything's shut down, right? You remember that in North American GBC? No, he can't collect money in America. I couldn't believe they blocked him. But anyway, we were thinking too, what are we going to do? Actually, we had made more money than when the temple was open. It's amazing what Krishna did. We fixed so many things after that. Like doubled our income. And nobody's coming. Go figure, you see. So it's going on. And anything that's there is a challenge. Why? To make us stronger. Right? If it's easy, anybody can do it. You want Krishna? Okay. You got to build Krishna Balaram. You got to do something extraordinary. Don't just think I'm going to sit and chant Hare Krishna, let me hear the name properly and don't move. That's very difficult, It's much easier to try to satisfy Prabhupada with something. And again, start small, whatever. I'll come every Sunday or every Saturday and I will clean the kitchen. At least in America, we have nobody here. I don't think you have the opportunity. Let me clean the kitchen every Saturday. Let me clean the pujari room. No one has asked me. I just do it voluntarily, and this is my service until I die. Like how the pujaris you see here, they're lifetime pujari. They're not thinking to go anywhere else. See, now you become fixed, and nothing disturbs you, because this is what's important. This service, I have to complete it for the satisfaction of Prabhupada and Krishna. Who cares about these distractions? Just like in World War II, the material example. In America, there was so much division, blacks, whites, all these problems, right? But as soon as the war came, all that was put aside. You see? Because if we don't, we're finished. Mothers are sending their husbands and sons to die. And they're going over there, no place to bathe, nothing to eat, in the mud, fighting. Why? Because I love my country. You see? It's a material example. I love my country. Nobody does that voluntarily, but for my country. So for Krishna, you see, and you build that up, And Krishna will come and see you. He becomes so attracted.
Krishna, I have a couple of questions. The first one's not so important. I've just been curious for the last day, 2 days. It's Srila Prabhupada writes. And usually it's purports, we don't know what Srila Prabhupada or purports by the devotees.
Yes.
So what is one that Srila Prabhupada writes? What's the difference?
I don't see much difference because Prabhupada empowered them to write it, so it's the same. Prabhupada empowered them to write it, so it's the same.
But they're saying Srila Prabhupada writes, that means it's Prabhupada's
They're quoting what Prabhupada wrote. They're quoting what Prabhupada wrote.
Oh, they probably got it from Krishna book or somewhere. Most of these you see are Vishwanath Chakravarti's purports, most of them. From what I understood is that they skipped over the 10th canto and went to the 11th and 12th. Mostly Hridananda did those, and then he kind of got a little tired, so Gopi, Pranajana, and Dravida, they went back to 10th canto. So the purports aren't so long. Hridanandas are like, what the? He can't stop, you know. And it's mostly Vishwanath Chakravarti's, from what I see, that they're quoting. And you forget that book from Vishwanath Chakravarti, they're almost the same. They had a few things in there. So.
It's like Srila Prabhupada wrote or Srila Prabhupada said. They're just repeating what Prabhupada said or wrote.
I don't know where they got that from, but they obviously, they're quoting something. I don't know the source.
Mainly Krishna.
Not like Prabhupada.
Probably Krishna book.
He wrote it, he wrote it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So we can stop here, or okay, go ahead. Yeah.
You want to put some stuff into it.
No, I wanted to comment on what you said about being in Chicago, and you couldn't leave Chicago to go to Detroit. When
Yeah.
I went to Detroit and Toronto, you had to stay in your center. I can make 2 comments on that. One, I had a service with the library.
Oh, yeah.
And we were able to follow Prabhupada
Yeah.
from Chicago to Detroit to Toronto because we were on Sankirtan. We had the vans,
Yeah.
library party vans, and we would just drive to the next.
To another Shruti Kirti, very fortunate. Even when Prabhupada arrived in Chicago, if you look at that video, you see Vaisheshika, they still got their wigs on. Because they were still distributing books. They didn't stop. Everybody's in the airport, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, and they're still out there selling books. Finally, when you get in the car, they all came out to see Prabhupada in the car. You see them army clothes, wigs, you know, like that, you know, so.
But there's another way of following. So I will bring this up. It's an interesting example of a devotee who had this aspiration. She was in Los Angeles. She wanted, when she joined this, she got this aspiration to follow Prabhupada's tours. She thought this would be the best service I could ever do. So she was working at the time. And she started to save her money so that she could buy airplane tickets to follow.
No.
But that didn't work out. And she got a service, however. She got a service with the BBT of transcribing the lectures that were recorded. By the lectures of Prabhupada were recorded and tapes were sent to LA, and they had to be transcribed. And she got that service, so she was with Prabhupada in all these different places.
Oh, nice, yeah. Actually, I'll give you a little hint. You remember when they first came out with all the recordings? There's about 1,900 of them. So they usually organize in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. I started listening to them, but then sometimes Prabhupada spoke on the same verse, different years. And the context was always different. I thought, well, I mean, why is he saying it different at this time? So then I realized I took all those recordings and renamed them so they were sequential. Sequential from the first lecture in 1966. So it would follow like there would be a morning walk, Bhagavatam, some kind of evening conversation or class, morning walk. And if you line them up like that, you'll see like over 1 week, he would talk about pretty much the same thing till someone said something, and then he switched to the new subject. So if you line them up like that and listen to them, it becomes a story. It's not just a lecture. So when you get to 1975, you realize why he said that in 1975, because you heard everything from before. So you get the full context of it. Otherwise, if you just listen to 1975, oh, that was really nice. But why did he say that? It's an accumulation of all the years. So technically, if you listen to it that way, Prabhupada, he makes you a devotee. He's preaching to you from the beginning to the end. Like that, So I don't know how, anyway, I renamed them. I just took time and I'm tired of this and lined them all up and listened to them that way. So. I'm holding on. I'm going to have to. Prabhu, I got to run because I got a little. Srila Prabhupada ki. All glory, simple devotees. Hare Krishna.